Hey everybody, welcome to Neil Talks. My name's Neil, and it's time to talk Avatar: The Last Airbender. And last episode, we got this massive influx of lore, which really fleshed out what the world looked like 100 years ago. We learned about this relationship between Avatar Roku and Fire Lord Sozin. They were best friends before they took on those mantles. And ultimately, Sozin betrayed Roku and killed him, but not before they both had families. And this is a thing that you don't really think about with the Avatars. At least it hasn't occurred to me. Because they sort of give this sense of being like warrior monks, kind of like the Jedi. They aren't supposed to have attachments, all of this. That's sort of what you assume. But that's not the case. There's nothing to prevent them from having families, from having husbands and wives and children. And Roku left descendants. And his descendants, was it his daughter married Sozin's son or the other way around or something like that? But the point being, the line of Fire Lords since Sozin all have Avatar blood, including Zuko and Azula. And what does that mean? They just have this additional connection to the Avatar. It's interesting. Clearly, Avatars don't pass on their abilities genetically, but maybe there's something else there worth exploring before this show is over. So it raises some interesting questions. But it was really an episode that happened primarily in the past. We didn't do much to advance the present story. So I'm hoping we jump back into the present now. And I feel like time's running out for us to find a firebending master. Time's running out for Iroh to escape. So where do we go from here? What's the next step? I'm eager to find out. I hope you guys are too. Let's jump right into it. This is episode 7 of series 3, and it's called The Runaway. Can you tell I watch a lot of British shows? I'm calling them series as opposed to seasons. I try and catch myself, but I don't always.
But when the world needed him most, he vanished.
Now we know he was killed by the Fire Lord.
Previously on Avatar.
Ever since you joined us, you've been nothing but selfish and unhelpful.
What? I gave up everything I had so that I could teach Aang earthbending.
That was so long ago. Why are we revisiting this?
And
Yeah, what's up with this dude?
This is crazy!
Super powerful third eye. The Runaway. Is this a Toph episode?
How could you do this to me? You betrayed me!
You brought this on yourself. I had no choice.
Oh, this is a deception. What's this about? Yeah, things are good between those two. But now we get to find out 3 days earlier.
Good job, Twinkle Toes. Visualize, then attack.
Ooh.
Can't handle some dirt, Madam Fussy Britches.
Madam Fussy Britches.
Mud slug.
Oh, that sounds almost racist.
Sneak attack!
Yeah, that's
Sokka,
not how you
sneak
announce.
attacks don't work if you yell it out loud.
Exactly.
I believe we've had enough training for today.
What are we gonna get with our last silver piece?
We can get more money. Right there.
Gambling.
Everyone guesses wrong because the dealer moves the rock at the last minute. But I can feel it with my earthbending.
want to play a friendly game?
How could I possibly play? I'm blind.
Flamey-o, Toph.
Wow, fancy guessing.
Flame me
You're
out.
amazing at this. Would you like to make the game a little more interesting?
How?
Well, let's say you toss in your friend's fine sword there.
I'll do it for 40 silver pieces.
Up the sleeve. Up the sleeve. Up the
Huh?
Awesome. There's nothing wrong with that.
Classic!
Ah, so she cheated.
Hey, I only cheated because he was cheating.
Cheated a cheater.
I
Yeah.
cheated a cheater.
Yeah.
I'll personally make you an Avatar promise that we won't make a habit of doing these scams.
Gambling montage. She's a good actor. Oh, now we're faking hit and runs. We're Breaking Bad.
You guys, I think these scams have gone far enough. If you keep doing them, something bad is gonna happen.
Lighten up?
Oh, I'm sorry. You think I should be more like you? Like some wild child?
Look, I ran away to help Aang.
You know what? It doesn't matter. We've already got some third-eyed freak after us.
I think I've come up with a name for him. Sparky Sparky Boom Man!
Sparky McSparkerson.
Just think about it.
Sparky McSparkface.
Hockey, welcome to
We
Team
buy.
Avatar.
Oh, we bought a
My
hawk.
name's Sokka, and I'm your new owner.
I worry about this hawk betraying us. This hawk is giving off massive Indiana Jones monkey vibes. Oh, she's wanted. Of course, in Canada, hockey is something else entirely.
I found something that you're not gonna like.
She can't see
Well,
it.
it sounds like a sheet of paper.
They've nicknamed you the Runaway.
A wanted poster! That's so great! Does it look good?
Pretty.
Well, yeah,
Pretty
actually, it
close.
does look pretty good.
Now you have plenty of money to help with the invasion plan.
Well, that is true.
Well.
I had this idea of making armor for Appa.
Ooh, Appa armor.
Here's a little extra so you can get yourself a nice map of the Fire Nation. Make it an atlas.
I do like expensive atlases.
Of course you do.
You and me both.
That's why this wanted poster is going to stay our little secret.
And I suppose you don't think what you're doing is dangerous at all?
No, I don't.
Well then, what's this?
I don't know! You went through my stuff. You had no right.
Your stuff was messy, and I was just straightening up, and I happened to stumble across
Yeah,
it.
such a mom line.
Don't you walk away from me while I'm talking to you!
Oh, really, Mom?
Yeah.
You're just a regular kid like the rest of us. So stop acting like you can tell me what to do. I can do whatever I want.
Sokka, do I act motherly?
Hey, I'm staying out of this one.
What do you think, Aang?
Well,
Stop rubbing your eye and speak clearly when you talk.
Yes, ma'am.
Also, what does it mean if Aang's got a thing for the woman he looks at as his mom?
I know, Hockey. I'm gonna send a note to Katara and say it's from Toph who wants to apologize. Then everyone will be friends again.
Yeah,
I gotta say, Sokka,
that's a dumb
continue
idea.
to impress me with your ideas.
It's a gift.
I know this is from you, Sokka. Toph can't write.
We're idiots.
Yep.
I guess plan B is we send a note to Toph pretending it's from Katara.
She can't read.
She's always got to be right about everything, and she gets all bossy.
Oh, look at
and
the lens
involved
flare they
in her
animated.
business.
Yeah.
When our mom died, that was the hardest time in my life. She stepped up and took on so much responsibility. My whole life, Katara's been the one looking out for me. She's always been the one that's there. When I try to remember my mom, Katara's is the only face I can picture.
She's compassionate and kind, and she actually cares about me. The real me. That's more than my own mom. Don't ever tell her I said any of this.
Hey, my lips are sealed.
I want to pull a scam with you.
What?
Yeah, that's
Not
what we're
just any
doing at the
scam,
beginning of the episode.
ultimate scam.
One last scam to end
Just
them
me
all
and you.
before we
One
can get out
last
for
go.
good.
You in?
You know I'm in.
It's a classic heist move.
How could you do this to me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You did the right thing by turning in the Runaway.
I still want the actual reward.
Of course, right this way.
Let's hope she can get out. It's all wood.
What kind of cell is this?
A wooden one.
Luckily, the bars are wide enough that she should just be able to crawl out.
That's the girl you were looking for.
Oh. Uh-oh.
It's a trap. Really? No kidding.
We're the bait. He wants Aang.
I knew this would happen.
But this was your idea.
Yeah.
I know. I wanted to show you that I can have fun.
That I'm
too.
cool.
Where do you think they might be?
Where do you think anyone is?
Where is it? Oh, he's the Terminator. Oh,
Sokka, watch out! I wish we had some earth or water. We
there's
need
water in
vegetables.
wood.
What about your meteor bracelet? You could make a saw.
Wood has moisture in it. Sweat. You've got water.
Katara? Are you okay? You're a genius! A sweaty, stinky genius!
Where did he just evacuate the city just to catch Aang? And why would they listen to this guy? Who is this guy?
Is too good.
This isn't
He
good.
shoots fire from his brain.
Ow. Oh no. Oh, okay. Whoa! I thought we blew his head off for a second there. Oh. Oh, we broke him. We jammed the barrel.
Now let's get out of here before Combustion Man catches us.
See? It fits so well.
Alright. That plot continues in future episodes.
I need you to write some things down for me.
Oh,
I wanna
message to
send a
mom and
letter
dad.
to my parents.
I'll be happy to help.
Hey, where'd Hockey go?
Okay. Am I just completely cynical? Maybe I'm just completely cynical. Yeah, I just assume any Fire Nation pet is going to be loyal to Fire Nation and not to our team. But okay. You know, it's interesting because remember back in early season 2 when Toph had just joined the team and they really played up how much she and Katara rubbed each other the wrong way. And it lasted about an episode or two. And then it's been peachy keen ever since. And then this episode, we need to turn that into a story point, and we tease them angry at each other with the beginning of the episode. But then we have to go back 3 days, and we reignite this friction between them, and play up the, you know, Toph's wild child side, and we play up Katara's mothering side to build this conflict. But then they resolve it, and we discover that the betrayal of the cold open is in fact a con, and it's all very formulaic, and yet it's really well done. I mean, I really appreciate that this is a kids show, and yet the conversations these young teenagers are having are not trivial. They're real, and they're emotional, and they're talking about dysfunctional families and losing parents, and, you know, not coping with everything perfectly well. You know, for all these kids' strengths and powers as benders and soldiers and warriors, they're not special at figuring out life and figuring out relationships and friendships and family and all the rest that makes life great but complicated. And yeah, it's such good writing. I mean, yes, there's some formula to it, but that's just because it's a formula that works, and it's a formula appropriate to a story like this. We have to remember that this isn't a perfect team, that there are conflicts, that there are different personality types that aren't always going to mesh perfectly together. And so every so often there has to be some difficulty. But this assassin with the third eye, he's a problem. That's a couple of episodes in a row where he's making life difficult for our team, and he's going to be difficult to beat. But we've proven here that, sorry, there's a tornado outside in the hallway apparently. If we impede his head, basically, if we encase his head in ice, or hit his third eye with a high velocity stone, we can at least slow him down. But how do we stop him? Because he's problematic, and somehow he's got enough authority to just make a town evacuate so that he can have a battle with the Aang gang in it, and he's not done yet. I don't like either of the names Sokka came up with for him. I guess we're calling him Combustion Man for the moment. But in any case, we have to deal with him. One of the things I'm realizing is I feel like unless we go into the Fire Nation and revisit our main Fire Nation characters, whether we see what Zuko and Azula and Iroh are up to, I feel like something's missing from an episode. Which isn't to say it isn't a fine episode, but I need to know what's going on the other side, because there is some real drama there, and shredded Iroh needs to escape one of these moments, and Zuko has this continually fascinating internal crisis of his own identity and his own loyalties and all of the rest of it. I love diving into that anytime we do. So, man, we're running out of episodes already. We're more than a third of the way through the season, and it feels like we haven't taken any steps since the first episode. We haven't progressed. We're wandering the Fire Nation, but we aren't finding a firebending master. We aren't doing anything to prepare for the invasion on the day of the eclipse. I don't know. I'm beginning to stress out a little bit that these young teenagers aren't doing the job of saving the world that they said they'd do. Of course, it's all going to happen eventually, but I'm stressing. Can't wait for next week. I need to see some progress, though, guys. Man, kids can be frustrating. People can be frustrating. Life can be frustrating. Anyway, it's just a cartoon, ultimately, but man, is it a good one. Can't wait for next week. Thank you guys so much for spending a little time here today on Neil Talks. Thank you for all your comments. Thanks for doing all the fun algorithm things. And until next time, everybody, take care, stay healthy. We'll see you soon. Cheers.